Dr. Hitchner arranged an interview with Jacob. He told him that if he signed all his possessions over to the Nazis, he would be a free man. Jacob refused, saying, "I was born in Vienna, always worked hard, and I'm not going to sign anything." Speaking to Jacob on the phone, I said, "Look here, you don't realize the situation. I swear on the Bible that if you don't sign, I will commit suicide." He returned home in a terrible depressed condition. A few of his teeth were missing. He had to stay home. Now came the time to escape. Years later, Paul went to Vienna. He tried very hard to find Dr. Hitchner. After engaging a private investigator, he was told that he had the cover of Dr. Hitchner's file, but the contents were missing. Only God knows what happened to this good man. We had to go to Switzerland because Jacob had stocks there. We were betrayed by Jewish friends in Vienna. The stocks were bought from Oppenheimer, which we had to list on our possessions to the Nazis. When Jacob went to the bank in Switzerland, they told him there was never any money there. In July 1938, thanks to the English consul, we came to England. While in London, Paul contracted tuberculosis and lost a lot of weight. The doctor recommended that he be sent to the ocean. Jacob went to inquire at Bournemouth, near Southampton. He met a woman whose parents owned a kosher hotel. Being off-season, they were glad to take us in. We were only to pay 5 guineas per week. We were hoping to leave the country in 4 weeks. They were the Grossmans. I will never forget them. They became like family. They had a hotel named Baracha high up on the cliffs. It was filled with flowers and elegance. We stayed in a room. When they found out that I could sew, they provided me with customers. I learned to make felt flowers, which they kept on the reception desk, and every visitor was asked to buy souvenirs. The flowers sold well, which made it possible to pay the 5 guineas a week of rent. Other dignitaries loved to come and spend their vacations there. Bournemouth was well known as a recreation center. It had the most beautiful park, best shopping area, and 5 o'clock tea was a must. In America, Sylvia and Paul lived together like brother and sister. Nothing made Paul happier than Sylvia's company. He was very skinny. His greatest pleasure was first his tricycle and then his bicycle. I went to work when he started school. He was an excellent student who loved to read. He used all his pocket money to buy comics. One day, a grocer complained that Paul was stealing. He stole split peas and run. When the storekeeper scolded him, he said, "But it's fun, all the children do it." Jacob got angry and said, "If you ever do it again, you will not be getting any food." Paul was the poorest eater anyway. He only started to eat properly after Sylvia enjoyed both portions. When Sylvia was 18, she met the Breslows. Tilly Breslow, the mother, painted a life-size picture of Sylvia, a real beauty. Sylvia fell in love with Murray Breslow. Addie and Dorothy told her that she was too young to marry. Murray was an industrial engineer. Sylvia eventually married, and her wedding was a showpiece. Together they had a wonderful daughter, Joyce, with whom I have a special relationship. Joyce is an architect and a city planner in Israel. Unfortunately, the marriage to Murray did not work out. Joyce was 1 year old. In 1959, Sylvia went for a vacation to Montevideo, Uruguay. Margit introduced her to Dr. James Jaime, whose parents, Gedalia and Sprinze, lived right next door to my family's first factory in Maldonado. They got married and lived happily ever after. After 1970, when we were already living in Forest Hills for many years, Jacob had 7 heart attacks, emphysema, and had to live for the rest of his life in a warm climate during the winter. Our doctor and friend, Dr. Maurice Chassin, suggested Tucson, Arizona. Tucson has many universities and a wonderful Jewish community center which you can use free of charge. Every Saturday night, they had the best guest speakers or concert. On arrival, we met Janet and her husband, who wanted to learn chess. Jacob was very happy about it and always won. We lived in Villa Serena 3. We had a small furnished 1-bedroom apartment. The complex had 5 swimming pools and glass elevators outside. We spent most of the time together with friends, playing cards and doing stuff together as a family. We even took our coffee together outside. Those years were the best years that we ever had. Jacob passed away. For several years, Manya lived with her friend Anne, and she's no longer alive either. My companions are my friends, who became very close, like family to me. I remember happy times spent in Miami. My companion Amanda and I went to Miami every winter. The same apartment, the same time. We had a ball. Every morning after breakfast we went for a run. We sat on a bench. The seats were kept for us. An old beggar, who was a blind musician, sat on one side, and a black bum on the other side. I had an old hat which I kept for donations. I begged for dollar bills, but took coins gratefully too. To fit the atmosphere, I wore old clothes, preferably dirty. I provided signs too. For the musician, need a place to sleep. For the bum, I am hungry. And for me, need a job. Business was quite good. People on vacation are warm and helpful with money, but no job for me. I divided the dough between the two. I have a cold and have to stay put, so I use the time because time is money. I was told, you must not waste it, do something useful. That's the way I was raised. Don't ever feel sorry for yourself. This is a waste. To respect others is to start off caring, sharing, helping and loving. Helping me not only financial support. The main thing is to start them off to make their own living, no matter how hard it is. Be independent, get educated, read, but even this in moderation. Entertaining is a luxury. Use it moderately. Try to enjoy your work, which has to be perfect so you can be proud of it. Otherwise, it is wasted. Being idle is a waste. Do and be happy. Be neat, it saves time. Time is costly, use it wisely. Cleanliness is next to God. Try to be organized, it saves time. Try. Fresh air is healthy. Use it by walking instead of using the tram. Polish the floor is good exercise. Keeping the house clean and orderly is exercise. We need all the space because we are all so crowded, so better keep everything in order. This is an order. Listen and talk. Try hard to understand others. Put yourself in others' shoes, the only way to understand. Love your family first. Be generous in love. Show that you care. Everyone needs a pat on the shoulder, so listen and try to help. Try. Try to live by those rules. Mainly be modest and don't boast. Praise and be hopeful. To keep up is a luxury and waste. Don't waste. Those are the principles we are all raised upon, who really loved and respected each other, which made us all extremely happy. Be polite, say thank you, and please. Better one too many as one less. I am a lucky person, always loved people and was surrounded by a loving, caring family and many loving friends. I am indebted to all for their understanding and caring and sharing good and bad times. I will never forget.